Hello and welcome to the weekly betting preview brought to you by 188bet.com, the in-play specialists. I'm Rob Hartnett and I'm here each week looking at the best betting opportunities arising from the big games across the Barclays Premier League, the Championship and further afield in Europe. The big game this weekend is the meeting of Aston Villa and Everton at Villa Park. These two sides will be meeting for the 191st time, and that's the most between any pairing in the top flight of English football. So hats off to both sides for their longevity. Hats off as well for their entertainment. The two games between the two sides last season were both thrillers. They both finished all square, 1-1 at Goodison Park and 2-2 at Villa Park. It needed a 90th minute own goal equaliser, Phil Jagielka, the man putting into his own net, and that produced an in-play winner at odds of a little bigger than 10-1 about the game finishing all square. I think that odds of 3.2 about the game finishing in a draw this time around as well look pretty tempting. Those two last season brought up 10 out of the last 24 meetings between the two to finish in a draw, so there's clearly not much between the two. An interesting bet could be to look at Everton being in front at the break and then for the game to finish all square. That was what happened in both of the games last season, and you can get very attractive odds of 15.0 or 14-1 about the same thing this time. Again, watch out for the in-play markets in this game. Everton, 3 out of their last 5 goals in the Barclays Premier League have been scored in the 90th minute or beyond. So they never give up. Watch out for that. Tim Cahill is a man to keep an eye on in the first goal scorer market as well. He scored 4 goals in the last 4 games against Villa, so watch out for him at odds of around 9.0 or 8-1 to open the scoring. Earlier on Sunday afternoon, we've got Bolton against Birmingham. Both sides have got off to great starts to the season, both of them lying on 4 points. Birmingham have had to come from behind in both of their games. Last week at home to Blackburn Rovers when they were 1-0 down, and the week before away at Sunderland when they were 2-0 down before Lee Cattermole sending off, and they came back to draw in that game as well. Bolton, though, have had a very interesting start to the season. They really could have scored all 3 points, but for some great goalkeeping from David Stockdale against Fulham. They then went down to West Ham. Jussi Jääskeläinen saved a penalty. Johan Elmander scored 2 goals, and they ran out 3-1 winners, fully deserving of it. And they faced a tricky trip down to Southampton in the Carling Cup in midweek as well. Odds of 2.4 you could have got about them winning that, and they duly did, with a 1-0 victory in what was not going to be an easy encounter. So Bolton are playing with style, they're playing with confidence, and I think at odds of 2.14 they're just too big against Birmingham. I think there'll be goals in this game. You can bet at odds of 1.95 about 3 or more, but if you look at it, Birmingham scored away from home in 15 of their 19 games in the Barclays Premier League last season. That's a pretty good record. Bolton did the double over them twice. They won 2-1 at the Reebok and 2-1 at St Andrews. You can get odds of 8.5 about a repeat of that 2-1 scoreline. And there will be an awful lot worse bets to be had throughout this season. On Saturday, there's another 2 games on the television as well. The evening game is Manchester United at home to West Ham. Now, the odds against the Manchester United victory are very short. Obviously enough, West Ham have had a disastrous start to the season, losing both of their games so far and really looking like a club that are in a spot of difficulty. United did only manage a draw against Fulham last weekend, so they'll be keen to keep the pressure up on Chelsea up at the top of the table. As I said, the odds against the Manchester United victory are very short, but we can look at other markets. Why not look at the Asian handicap market, which is set this time at 2.25 goals. That means that United have to win by 3 goals or more in order for the bet to be a winner, but we get back half of our stake if they only win by 2 goals. And the odds against it, you can back at just a little short of even money at 1.95, 1.96. So that looks like a pretty good bet to me. If you consider the fact that Manchester United won against the bottom 6 in the Premier League last season, they won all 6 of the home games, scoring 23 goals and conceding not a single one. The opening game of the weekend is Blackburn Rovers at home to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are odds on for this, particularly given the special performance that they put up against Blackpool last weekend. But they've got a tough game on their hands against Blackburn Rovers. Big Sam Allardyce, the manager at Ewood Park, has won in 4 of the last 5 home games that he's taken on Arsene Wenger. So whether it's by psychology or whether he just knows how to set up his teams against Arsenal. He's got a very good record. This time last season, and this corresponding fixture, Blackburn ran out 2-1 winners, and they've won 2 and drawn 1 of the last 5 at home to Arsenal. So odds against Blackburn winning at 5.6, or odds against them in the Asian handicap market, whereby we can win at odds of 2.05 or get back half of our stake even if they lose by a single goal, represents a good value bet against the grain in the opening game of the weekend. Elsewhere and away from the television cameras, there's plenty of exciting games as well. We've got Chelsea taking on Stoke City. Can they possibly continue their great run of goal scoring? Well, we'll offer you odds of 8.5 about Chelsea winning this, scoring 5 goals or more. That looks pretty attractive given the free scoring nature of their games so far this season. We've got Sunderland against Manchester City. Man City, a buzz team at the moment, but Sunderland only lost twice at home last year. And you can bet in the Asian handicap market again at odds of 2.09 or nearly 11 to 10 about Sunderland either winning or drawing this game. It would be a surprise, but possibly not as big as some people would suggest. Elsewhere across Europe, we've got the first games in La Liga in Spain and in Serie A in Italy. They will be great seasons in both of those countries. You've got Jose Mourinho leading Real Madrid, hopefully to take away the title from Barcelona. I think Villarreal are going to be a surprise package in Spain this season as well. I think they'll do well and could grab third. In Italy, you've got Inter Milan having lost Mourinho. Will they lose the Scudetto? Well, Roma ran them very close last season under Claudio Ranieri. They've strengthened over the summer, and I think that they can give a good account of themselves as well. Those leagues, as well as of course the Barclays Premier League, all add up to the 3,500 games every month that you can bet live in play on 188bet.com. Good luck with whichever games you choose this weekend, and join us again next week when we'll be previewing the first steps on the road to Euro 2012.